guys, it's me Melissa and we're back in the ranting shop, and today we're gonna be discussing Ready to Love season 4 episode 3. The title was All Roads Lead to Love. Now in this episode I didn't see any road leading to love, so the title was very much contradictory. But anyways, we're gonna just step right into the grits of this episode. So Tissia felt a certain type of way because the guys put her at the bottom. She took the opportunity during the group date, because she was the first female to arrive, to interrogate the men and question them about why she was placed in the bottom. And as far as she's concerned, she's the ish. She should be at the top. She's awesome. She has the body shape, the curves. She has the personality, and she feels like she's baffled as to why she was placed in the bottom. But we see clearly why she was placed in the bottom. That very much interrogative nature of her, questioning the guys, and almost like a teacher, almost like a police officer or an investigator, wanting to get down to the bottom of things. The men don't find that attractive. I mean, if you're unable to figure that out, then I don't know what to tell you, Tissia. The men don't find the way you question them attractive. Phil stated that it was because he never really got an opportunity to talk to Tissia. Corey said something, I don't even know what he says. A lot of what he says makes no sense to me, so it's very difficult for me to come back and try to interpret or analyze or try to understand what he even said. But he mentioned something about he trying to come up to her and then another guy swooped her, or whatever the case is. Either way, the way Tissia is going about things is not beneficial to her. The men are not very attracted to what or how she approaches them, and that's that. Now, my question was, why is Corey still here? It's the men's turn to go home. Why is Uncle Tommy so narcissistic with Clap? So he comes into what they call the women's lounge, and he's telling the women it's their time to decide which man they want to send home. When he's leaving, he goes, "Oh, clap for me like I'm Obama," or something like that. That really pisses me off, because it's almost giving me narcissistic vibes, and I don't like it. Why don't you just go off like a regular human being instead of expecting these women to clap for you as you walk away? That makes no sense, and it's very aggravating. Carrie feels interrogated by Carrington. She feels like a lot of the conversations she's had with Carrington has been interviewer style, and she has not really gotten to know him as an individual. She says he's one of the people I think bring their representatives to the party. Actually, I came up with that analysis. He's one of the people that bring their representative. They don't bring their real selves, because their real selves is not going to be appealing to these women. But we're gonna see that it didn't take long for Carrington to really show little bits and pieces of his true self later on in the review. So Courtney is not afraid to tell a man how she feels, and we saw that during the date with Camille, Walter, Courtney, and Cornelius. She loves to pursue a man, she says, and her love language is physical touch, and she wants Cornelius to change his love language from gifts to physical touch, because that's what she's good at and that's what she is the best at doing. Now, the relationship dynamic between Courtney and Cornelius is a little bit sticky. It's kind of reminiscent of Liz and Jason, in that Cornelius has stated that sex is not something he wants to just jump into. In fact, he wants to avoid it as long as possible, because sex tends to cloud judgment, especially in the dating phase. But Courtney, her analysis of things is slightly different. She wants sex now. Like, she wants to be able to see what you're working with during the dating stage. She doesn't want to wait until marriage or until later down in the relationship, because she wants to determine right now if the sex is good or not, so she could make her decision on whether she wants to stay or leave. Okay, so we have that. The funny thing about it is Camille and Cornelius actually relate on the front of waiting for sex. They bond on that. She believes in it and he believes in it. However, Walter and Courtney do not. They want the sex as soon as possible so they could figure out whether they would want to deal with the quality of the sex moving forward or not. So, yes, I did say that this might force Cornelius and his no sex rule to fold. Like, allegedly, people are saying that Liz also folded with Jason, but who knows? Carrie or Corey, why do I keep spelling this man's name as Carrie? He has absolutely no game. And before even going to Corey, Camille is being really too dominating at this point. Not dominating, but she's being too possessive too early on, and that is coming across as a huge red flag to everybody that watches. Camille states that she's just a very funny and goofy person. We definitely do see the funny and goofy side of Camille, but we also see a possessive side that we're not really liking from her. But anyways, Corey has no game. And it's actually quite cringy to watch him try to coerce Sabrina into a more intimate setting. All he knows how to do is get women in bed. He has no game and is disappointing to listen to. He doesn't know why Sabrina is not feeling him. And I'm like, sir, are you okay? Or do you just lack self-awareness? You're a creep. Period. No woman has told you that. Your approach is wrong. Everything for me with Corey seems to be just sexual and very surface level. That's why he's not been able to really develop his speaking and conversational skills, because all his aim is to get the women in bed, and that's it. There's no need for him to be able to talk about a vast array of issues. He doesn't need to speak on the historical significance of certain things. He doesn't need to talk on social issues. He doesn't need to go in depth, because that's not how he addresses dating. All he sees dating as is getting as many women in bed as possible. And you cannot tell me that that is a type of man that wants to settle down. You cannot tell me that. So Corey hasn't found any connection, and I said also known as no woman that is willing to entertain his BS. He helped Mumen. He got an opportunity to really get in with a woman with Mumen because he saw her at a very vulnerable time where her tire was flat on the road, and he decided to help her. So I said that Mumen felt indebted to him. Corey has got to be a practical joke, because I don't believe it at all. He is unbelievable right now. I said you excel at first dates because the poor women have no clue about the creep that lies under the superficial layer of the nice guy that you want to show during the first interaction with these women. Then he asked Mumen, has your perception of me changed? And of course, she says, of course. She's grateful for you fixing her tire. That's why her feelings towards you have changed. Now we go back to Camille and the other people. Camille is religious and will pray over. Oh, sorry, that's not Camille, that's Courtney. Courtney stated that, yeah, she grew up in the church and she is religious. They all grew up in the church. As Black people, we grew up in church. That's normally where a lot of our beginning stems from, a religious background. So Courtney states she loves praying over her man and stuff like that. Camille and Cornelius wants to wait for sex, as I stated before. Courtney touches Cornelius to Camille's disdain. And then Cornelius is like, oh, I don't want to have sex right now. Oh, but she could very sensually and sexually caress my thigh. That makes no sense. Corey continues to be cringy, and instead of helping Moomin down, because Moomin, they went on some type of hiking date, and he brings her to a tree stump, and he puts some cloth on it and has her go on it like she's riding a horse. Then they're talking. First of all, that's very awkward. Then he proceeds to make all of the viewing population very uncomfortable, right? And then Moomin, it wants to go down now. And instead of helping Moomin down, this creep goes behind Moomin and is talking about, oh, we're gonna act like we're on a horse. Are you serious?
Right. Oh. I just want to see what this would feel like too.
Well, you can feel what it's like if you care. Jeez. Oh.
I hope you're down for real though.
I thought we was about to act it out.
Oh, shh.
I love acting. Okay, so where are we going?
All right, so.
Hold on.
Why did it look right for some reason?
I don't know. And you started doing the horse before it even started. I was like, what is he doing back there? Okay. Different type of party. Okay.
I was trying to get the little gallop part.
Okay,
like the,
got you.
Like I'm galloping, like, matter of fact, it's like the end of Django. No?
Okay.
It just looks so... It looks so...
Oh, God.
That was disgusting to watch. I said, boy, if you don't go to hell, why is it that Corey feels like he needs to get everything at once from a woman? I think it's because beyond the meager facade, he has absolutely nothing to offer. He already wants to kiss more men. They've had no conversation of substance yet. Talking about, I'll wait and give the other man a chance to strike out. That's his issue. He wants to be the first for his ego's sake. There's no substance to none of what he's doing. He wants to be the first to have sex with them. He wants to be the first to kiss them. He wants to be the first to take them out. Why? Because he's insecure. And he doesn't want the other men to get an opportunity to do that before him. So that just speaks to me and speaks to the fact that Corey is simply playing a game. It's like he's running a race. He only wants to be the first. Do I feel like he genuinely cares about these women? I don't. I feel like everything he's doing is for a reason, and that reason is to boost his ego. So then we go to Tyrone and Zadia. Tyrone speaks on his PTSD. If we don't know about Tyrone, Tyrone was previously a veteran. He is a veteran. He used to be in the military. And that has caused a lot of his PTSD. They connect on their breathing exercises that he has to take and Zadia takes to just calm their spirits down, to think more clearly, in the morning. Zadia states that she is bugetto when Tyrone asked her what is something about her that, is not necessarily a positive thing or good thing. She states that she's bugetto, bougie and ghetto, and that she's clagette, which is classy and I don't know the other one. Classy and what? I don't know. So after that conversation, Tyrone feels very much interested in Zadia. And it is here that I realized that Zadia is very much like Kyra in her approach. She gets men to feel comfortable with her and to like her. That way, she has a lot of options that she could choose from. So far, she's sunk her things into Naeem. I don't want to say things like it's a bad thing, but she's worked her charm on Naeem with that, oh, can I call you Bilal? Just to set herself apart. And now she's got her charms on Tyrone because she's made herself relatable to Tyrone. And when she got up from that date, I was like, girl, my gosh. She has a lot of body, I will say that. Now we have Aisha and Carrington. Now, she said she likes his confident and cocky nature because she's the same. And maybe it's something about Bronx women or women from New York. They're very cocky people. He enjoys a certain polish of a woman. Carrington is used to dating older women so he can mooch off them and be a sugar baby. You know, that's my perception of him. I don't know. So he says 38 is absolutely not even old enough for him. In fact, he goes for older women that are much older than Miss Aisha. So she has nothing to worry about as far as that is concerned. Now they asked him about whether he's been in any relationship. Now remember in the Meet the Cast special, he states that he was in a relationship 6 years ago. Right? And then one of his exes came on Commercial Reviews and spoke about how not even they were in relationships. And my thing about it is, if there were no relationship there, then what's the issue? You know, and not to say that what he's doing is a good thing, because it's a terrible thing. Oh, the kids call them situationships. I wanted one, but because of this business, it was hard to date. So you can use women sexually and otherwise, but not be in relationships with them? Oh, can't say that I've cheated because I haven't had a girlfriend. How, Sway? This all ties into the accuser who stated that they were never in a relationship, but he used her for money, housing, sex, and anything else that she was willing to give him. This man is sweating and everything. If Red Flag was a person, it would be Carrington. It's almost like he's justifying his behavior because he strategically chose to not put a title on the relationships he's had with women. So the user part has been confirmed. Aisha, on the other hand, was in a long-term marriage, almost a decade long. She didn't want to enter into another relationship broken, so she took the time to work on herself and seek help. And she also sought help for her children. And she got very emotional about her kids because, as a lot of mothers do, their duty is to protect their kids. And maybe she didn't feel like they were in the best environment. So she made sure when she got out of that relationship, she had the children's mental health get to a point of at least a healthy state. So I'm happy she also worked on her kids' mental health. So Aisha stated something that didn't make sense to me. She stated that she is attracted to Carrington and everything, but his age is what deters her. And the fact that, of course, he's never really been in a relationship and he's 33 years old. And she states, settling should not be your focus at 33. Said whom? Said whom? I feel like it's it's a great age to settle down. I feel like age has actually nothing to really do with it. It all has to do with your mental capacity. Are you able to be in a mature relationship at 33 years old? If not, then it says a lot about you. Actually, it doesn't even, I would never make excuses for a 33-year-old. I would never state that, oh, he's 33, needs more time to gallivant and have more one-night stands. That makes no sense to me. But that's what she said. So, Shiloh, Naeem, Tissia, Zadia, and Naeem meet. Tissia wants to be mentally stimulated. That's what she wants from a guy. She doesn't only want physical appearance. Remember, Tissia is the woman that says she wants a medium ugly man. So for her, it's not about attraction. All she wants is facial hair and for him to mentally stimulate her. Shiloh wants to be physically stimulated. She's a very physical person. Naeem shows her that he can deliver if he needs to be physical. He can do that, to which Shiloh reacted very positively, just to his willingness to want to please her and to want to, bend a little to satisfy her, made her very flattered. She was very flattered. Naeem shows that he can deliver, yes. Shiloh is a freaky league, sensual and sexual, she said. When they asked Tissia, what does she want in a guy, she was being very coy. She feels like it's not for the women to know, it's for me and the man to know. But if he does get with me, he will be very satisfied. It leaves a lot to the imagination, which is actually a good strategy. You don't want men knowing too much too soon. The women convene. Aisha was absent. Come to find out, Aisha was in a car accident. But Phil came to the rescue to, of course, help her and see what she was dealing with. And that just makes me feel like Phil is a pretty nice guy, and that's a good sign. The women are liking Cornelius. A lot of the women are feeling Cornelius. Camille is feeling Cornelius. Courtney is feeling Cornelius. A lot of the women are feeling Cornelius. And I understand. He's religious and he has a nice smile, so I get it. The women are liking Tyrone. Sabrina likes Tyrone. Carrie likes Tyrone. Zadia likes Tyrone. But Carrie spoke about a situation she had with Tyrone, where I guess he wasn't feeling her anymore, wasn't interested in her anymore. So the way he chose to communicate that to her left a bad taste in her mouth, because instead of being very honest with her, his approach was being very cold towards her, being very callous towards her, and she didn't really understand where all of that was coming from. Turns out that he spoke to Shiloh, and he explained that he didn't mean to deliver the news like that to Carrie. It's just that he's only capable of entertaining 3 women at a time. And so what I think happened was that when he was in a vulnerable position, he gravitated towards who he thought was the easiest person to gravitate to, and that was Carrie. However, when he got his bearings, he was able to reach out to more women, and he found these women more interesting than Carrie. So then he tossed Carrie aside. So Carrie was not feeling that, and I really believe that Tyrone could have communicated that much better than he did. At the end of the day, Tyrone, you're a grown man, and your inability to communicate your thoughts and feelings is just very baffling to me, and is a huge red flag. So Shiloh had to explain what Mr. Tyrone told her about the Carrie situation, something he could have told Carrie directly. Anyways, I'm not attracted to Tyrone. For me, he can stay, he can go. I don't really care about Tyrone. We're gonna see how long he stays on the show. I don't think he's gonna be there that long though, but we're gonna see. Now, Carrie and Shiloh like Dante. Zadia likes Dante as well. Dante and Naeem. Mumen likes Corey. Girl, you like Corey? Anyway, I'm looking at Mumen sideways. Anybody that's gonna like Corey, I'm gonna have to look at you sideways. Something is off with you if you like Corey. Like, I'm not understanding. Zadia does not like Corey because he does make no sense. He makes no sense when he speaks. I actually relate and understand that completely. Everything Corey says really makes no sense. And I feel as if Corey has a little bit of a stammer. And so maybe that was an impediment that also made him self-conscious growing up and made him not so confident. And so because he's gotten that under control, he's gotten a little bit of muscle. He's gotten cocky, but not in a good way. It doesn't help him one bit. But anyway, Zadia does not like him. Carrington is showing up as his representative, as I said before. Why? Courtney tries to vouch for him. And Courtney, I believe she owns a bar. And so she's in the same industry as Carrington is. And they're all in a little DC area. So I'm not surprised that she knows him. Anyway, she stated she knows him for 5 years and he's a good guy. However, Sabrina had a different experience with him. So he allegedly snapped at Sabrina when she brought up the age differences. And he was like, oh, I'm tired of explaining this to you. If you don't understand this, then red flag. Because where's this anger coming from? This woman is simply trying to get to know you and you're spazzing out like this. Where is this coming from? That made no sense to me. And what I realized is that is truly who Carrington is. That person that spat at Sabrina is who he is. That person we saw on his date with Camille is who he is. He looks like he has anger issues. When you're not buying his BS, he gets angry. And that's a big red flag. So Corey states, "Oh, I was surprised to meet with one of my connections, Tissia. She called me and invited me out on a date," almost in a boasting sense, like, "Hey, you see, the women like me. You see how Tissia called me out for a date? It wasn't me that called her. She called me." I was like, boy, whatever. And then he's like hugging her, asking her for a hug. So she's hugging him, whatever. This man's hand is on top of this lady's bottom. Why is your hand right there? He's so disgusting. If you're gonna wear a dress like that, I have to lay hands on you. Lay hands on who? Why? This man is a walking red flag. He's a walking stop sign. He's a walking ad for what not to be in this movement that we're on, this big movement that we're doing now. Like, he needs to be careful, because I'm afraid he's gonna end up in jail if that's how he interacts with women. So anyways, the women found Carrington to be surface level, but his response to that was, a lot of them can't carry a conversation. Wow. And to my surprise, between Corey and Carrington was sent home. I really thought Corey would have been sent home. However, I suppose they want him to stay longer for the shenanigans, so we're gonna see. Corey is still there. I'm happy Carrington got sent home, because something about Carrington is off. Something about him is wrong. We can't quite put our fingers on it, but his aura, it's funny how he could go from happy and funny and easygoing to almost like his eyes change into this monster. It's actually quite scary. But Corey is still here. Let's see what he does moving forward. Next episode, the men are in control, so the women now have to kind of warm up to the men and, do what they need to do to stay. And we're gonna see how that works. We see Tyrone have a conversation with Carrie as to why he kind of dropped her and was so rude on that phone conversation. The way he's stating things to her make no sense to me. I think he stated that, it's because it's difficult for him to say that he likes other women more than her. That's not even how he stated it. He stated that it's difficult to say that he likes more women than her. Now, I don't think that's what he wanted to say. He wanted to say he likes certain women he likes more than he likes her. So Tyrone definitely has to work on his communication skills, because they're in the gutter. Okay, and that's really funny, because a lot of the women like him because they feel like he's a great conversationalist, but I don't think that he really is. But anyways, you guys, we're gonna see a lot of drama next episode. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Carrington should have been sent home? Would you have preferred that Corey be sent home? And I feel like a lot of the reasons why the women kept Corey instead is because he has a bit of a light-heartedness to him, as opposed to Carrington, which Carrington just seems like he has a monster inside him. But Corey just seems like a joke. And that's why I probably think like they kept him instead. But let me know what you guys think. See you next time. Like and subscribe. And bye.